Evening everybody, Rich here, back for another video for the Diecast F1 review. Here today is a video that's a bit different to usual. It's not a single car review, it is a review of pretty much everything I've got, or just a quick review. Although saying it's a quick review, there's going to be about 150 cars to list here, and it's going to take a while, so I'm just going to give a quick rundown of what I've got. Got a cabinet here, with me standing in front of it, hello. So I've got a cabinet here with a few in, got on top of the cabinet, got a few there. To the side, got a few. To the other side, we've got a few, and to the behind me, there's a few as well. So I just give a quick rundown of what I got, and I've had a few requests for this to make this review. Well, say rundown of the list of cars I have, and if there's any that stand out, then just give me or just let me know, and I'll do a review of that specific car. And then we'll start in the cabinet. I'm going to start on the top here. We've got there's 20 cars in this cabinet that are on the shelves, and there are a few on the bottom. So there's about 8 or 9 cars on the bottom underneath the shelves. But we'll start at the top here. We'll start with the Stewart SF3 from 1999. That's the Barrichello version. That's a Mattel model. That's the first one, of course. And we have the Ferrari F300 from 1997. That's one of the cars I've already reviewed, so that's already done. To the right of that is the Ferrari F2001. You've seen this in previous videos. I think it was the last video I'd done of the 2010 car. This car popped up, just a demonstration of how the size of cars have changed. But I will do a review of this one at a later date as well. Just to the side of that is the Benetton B194 from 1994. Already reviewed that one. That's the Schumacher car. Did that one I think earlier last year. And to the side of that one is the Mattel version of the Mclaren MP4 17D. That's the 2003 car, Kimi Raikkonen. We'll do a review of that one at a later date. Not a bad model though, I really do like that one. One of Mattel's better cars. Down to the shelf below we have 4 McLarens. We have McLaren MP4 from 1993. Then we get the McLaren MP4 from 1996. That's the Hakkinen car. In the middle of all the McLarens is the Sauber C14 from 1995. That's the first of the Red Bull sponsored cars. Very nice car as well, one of the rarer ones. To the side of that is the McLaren MP410, and to the side of that is the McLaren MP49. The 9 is from 1994, the Peugeot car, and the 10 is the 1995 car, the first of the Mercedes cars. 3 of the 4 McLarens there are of Mika Hakkinen. The MP48 on the side there is Ayrton Senna, although there's no driver in the car. Down to the next line we have the Toyota TF103 from 2003. One of the cars I picked up in a bulk load on eBay. It's one of 4 cars I picked up, and it's damaged. Well, I say it's damaged. It's got a wing mirror missing, and the front wing's a bit loose, but apart from that, it's alright. A Minichamps model there. You can see there the wing mirror on the side there is missing. You can see the hole there. But not a bad model. It's not a hugely popular model. Not one I'd spend a huge amount of money on. To the side of that is the Sauber C12 from 1993. That's the first Sauber. That's using the Concept by Mercedes engines, or Elmore basically. You can see on the side there. Concept by Mercedes-Benz, and it's also another damaged car, although saying that it's just got a wing mirror missing. So that's that one. To the side of that we've got the Arrows A23 from 2002, the last of the Arrows, the Ford pad car with Enrique Benaldi in the car. Very nice model as well. It's one of the cars in the cabinet that does actually have a box. Well, it did have a box. I lent it to my brother a couple of years ago to store one of his cars, and it's not returned. So this one currently doesn't have a box. But we'll review that one as and when I get around to it. To the side of that one is the Jordan 195 Peugeot from 1995 with Barrichello at the wheel. Already reviewed this one. It's one of those topsy-turvy colour scheme cars, and it does look a bit weird, but not a bad model. Definitely one of the rarer cars from the Minichamps range. If you can get this one in a box, then you're doing quite well, or at least if you can get the car in a box at a reasonable price. But yeah, to the side of that we've got the Sauber C19 from 2000, or is it the other way around, or is it the C21? I'm not sure. I think it's the C21, although I could be wrong. I know Sauber tend to make the chassis number sort of either one after or one before the year it's being made. So say C20 will be from 99, or it could be from 2001. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the bottom. I think it's the C21 from 2000. at the wheel. Build quality of this model is one of the worst I have seen. Structurally it's alright, you know, the front wing, the wing mirrors and all that are pretty good, but the decals on this car, you just have to look at them and they'll start peeling. I mean, look at the rear wing there, you can see the decals are peeling quite badly. The side parts for the rear wing, the decals have all peeled off, and some areas on the barge boards as well have all chipped, and I think the front wing's starting to lift as well. Not a great model, that's probably one of the worst purchases I've ever made, but to be honest, if you see that one on eBay, even if it's in a box, the decals will be peeling, so look out for that one. Right, below again we have the Ferrari F2003 from 2003. I already reviewed this one a year ago, also. Not a bad model. Not got a box, and it's barrack colour at the wheel. And yeah, I've already reviewed that one. Not a bad model, but not overly. I'm not saying it's not a rare model, but it's not an overly exciting model either. To the side of that one we have one of two Ligiers that I have. This is the Ligier GS41 from 1995. I have two of this exact car. The other one's in a box behind me. This is the Aguri Suzuki version. This is one of three versions of the same car you can get. There's the Panis version, there's the Suzuki version, which is this one, and then there's the Martin Brundle one. I have the Suzuki and the Brundle one. The Panis one is, I wouldn't say rarer, but it doesn't come up very often. And this one I have is without a box. But never mind. And it's also a direct repaint of the 1995 Benetton as well. It's just a reuse of the mould, painted all blue with Gitani stickers all over it, or Ligier stickers if you like. To the side of that we've got the Jaguar R1 from 2000. Already reviewed that one as well. The worst one of the worst Jaguars ever made, but not a bad model. Pretty cheap, and if you can pick it up, it's not a bad little model. Very well made. Although the quality is not Minichamps, but you know, for a £5 you're not going to sniff at it. Very well put together, and it won't fall apart just by looking at it. Already reviewed that one. And to the side of that we've got the McLaren MP415. That's the Mattel version. I've already reviewed this one as well. I did a comparison with the Minichamps version. The Minichamps version is in the box behind me. So that's the Mattel version from 2000. And then to the side of that is the McLaren MP4 16. This is from 2001. This is the Hakkinen car. This is the Mattel version as well. This one's slightly damaged as well. I think I picked this one up from I sort of done a deal with my brother. Don't know why I did it, but I picked up this car from him, and the T-cam's missing and the wing mirror's missing as well. But you know, in the cabinet it don't look too bad. But I really would like to do a comparison with the Minichamps version, but at the moment they're a bit scarce. So that's all the cars on the shelves. Below that we got a couple of Senna models and a couple of other ones. Start on the left. In this box here is the McLaren McLaren M23 from 1976. It's a car James Hunt won the World Championship in, but it's not James Hunt in the car. It's actually Jochen Maas's car. So I got his teammate. To the side of that we've got one of the Senna models, which is either the Williams or it could be one of the McLaren. I got the McLaren MP4 6 from 1991, but I'm not sure if it's in that box or it's in that box. I'd have to have a dig through. To the side of that we've got the Benetton B186 from 1986. Already reviewed that one as well. It looks alright, but it's pretty cheaply made. If you go to that one you can sort of see. To the side of that is another Minichamps obscure models. That's probably the Ferrari the 412 T2 from 1995. That's the Alacy car, very nice model as well. Already reviewed that one. To the side of that is another Senna model, and to the side of that is the Williams FW17 from 1995. That's Damon Hill's car as well. So yeah, that's all those ones there. Got an Eddie Stobart truck down there as well. On top of the boxes underneath, we've got a Ferrari under here, which hasn't got a box. That's the 96 one. And to the side of that, another Ferrari, which is sort of a spares and repairs car. I used that for parts. Well, I haven't yet, but I will use that one for parts. So that's all the cabinet done. That's probably wasted about 15 minutes of this video talking about them. Hello again. And on top of the cabinet, behind Optimus Prime, there is a few cars, but we'll start on the ones on the right here, or the left. Got the Williams FW15C by Quartzo. That's one I've already reviewed. Not a bad model, that one. From 1993. One above that is the McLaren is it the MP4 2? Or is it the 3? No, it's the MP4 2, isn't it, from 1985. This is the the B version, and it's Alain Prost's car. Already reviewed that one as well. And above that we've got the Sauber C16 from 1997. That's the Onyx model. Already reviewed that one. Not a bad model that. Fairly cheap and very easy to pick up. Above that we've got the Renault R29 by Norev. Already reviewed that one as well. Fairly rare nowadays. Don't see this one pop up very often. It tend to be just the Minichamps version. And above that we got the other Norev car of the 2010 Renault, the R30 with Kubica at the wheel. Once again another very rare model. Doesn't tend to come up very often on sale. So already reviewed that one as well. To the right of that, we'll start going down again. That's the Ferrari SF15T from 2015. I've already reviewed that one. That's probably the most popular video of my collection. We just look at it from there, holding it, almost hitting the ceiling with this camera. So that's the 15 car there. Below that is the Lotus 72. That's the Lotus 72E from 1973-74. That's the Emerson Fittipaldi car. I'll just move this box out of the way and look at some more cars behind. And below that we've got the Renault R28 by Norev. That's the 2008 car. Already reviewed that one as well. It's Norev, and it's not a bad model either. Below that one, that's one I haven't reviewed, the Renault R202. As you can tell there in big bold letters, this is one of those enigmas really. Is it a Universal Hobbies model or is it a Revel model? This same car tends to pop up in different boxes, but it's the same mould, the same chassis. So I'm not really sure if it's Company A or Company B, but it's in a Norev box, so I'll take it at that for now. But yeah, it's not a bad model, a bit cheaply made. It's one of those licenses that sort of went askew and then come back to Mattel in 2003, I think. Went from Minichamps to Revel or Universal Hobbies and then to Mattel. It's one of those licenses I don't think anyone wanted at the time, but never mind. Just changed hands here because my arm's gone to sleep. One down from that is the Williams FW14B, that's the Quartzo version. Already reviewed this one as well. I did this one with a comparison with the Minichamps version. I did the FW15 as well in a comparison with the Minichamps one, so you can check that one out as well. So that's the 1992 car with Nigel Mansell at the wheel. Yeah, it's a very nice model as well. Big opening engine cover on this one. I did an update video as well with the engine cover coming off. So originally when I did the video, the engine cover wouldn't come off, so had to do a retake sort of that one. Alright, so that's that one out of the way. And I'm going to stand up on the bed here before I fall and break my neck. Alright, so just to stand over here, we've got a few cars up here. We've got, alright, we'll start with the Ferrari F10. This is the last review I've done. This is the one of two. This is the Elite version. One with all the carbon detail and things. Very nice model as well. Picked it up very cheaply as well. This is, like I said, it's one of two Ferraris, well, the two F10s I got. And you'll see the other one in a minute. But to the right of that one, we got, that's the Champ car. That's the Max Papis Champ car by Action. I've done a review of this one. Very big box it comes in as well. I mean, it dwarfs the Mattel models above it and the Minichamps one as well. So yeah, that's the IndyCar Champ car chassis. Lola, is it Lola or Reynard? It's a Reynard, sorry. Yeah, so that's the Miller Light car. So check that one out. And above that we've got the Williams FW29 from 2007. That's the Toyota car. Very nice model as well by Mattel. And he's got Nico Rosberg at the wheel. One of the rarer Williams as well, or at least the rarer Mattel Williams. It's one of those ones I couldn't pick up for ages. I mean, I was looking for it for about 4 or 5 years. I just could not find this one. Yeah, it's such a simple looking car, but definitely one for the collection, and I would recommend it. Above that we've got the Jordan EJ12 from 2002. The downward spiral of Jordan, if you like. Jordan Honda. Takuma Sato at the wheel. Another one of those rare Mattel models. It's one that doesn't come up very often as well, but if you can pick it up fairly cheaply, when it does come up, then you're doing quite well. And not a bad model. The nose on it I think is sort of lets it down the nose and front wing area, but the rest of the car I think is pretty solid. So I will explain when I get to the video review of that, as and when I do it. So we'll see. Above that is just an empty case, and to the right that's the Williams FW36 by Spark. The car's not actually in there at the moment. The car's actually down on the shelf below because I thought I'd put it on display in a case. So it didn't look right when you can't see it in that box. The box is just cheap and it's very uninspiring when you just a big 19 on it, but never mind. Below that we've got Kimi Raikkonen's Ferrari F2007 from 2007, of course, the championship winning car. A fairly basic model. I think it's pretty much just a repaint of the 06 car, just with a couple of added pieces to it, but you know, it's not a hugely collectible. I say it's not hugely desirable, but it's not a bad model. You can pick it up fairly cheaply. You're doing alright. Also got these ridiculous wheel spinners on the back as well. I hate those things. Below that we've got the McLaren MP4 24 from 2009. Already reviewed this one, and it was a bag of shit in reality, but one of the best looking McLarens for a long time. And yeah, already reviewed that one. Go check it out. Very nice car it is as well. Also got these stupid bloody front wheel spinners on. Hate them. Below that we've got a Guinness truck, which has got a McLaren behind it. Let's shift it out of the way. And that is the McLaren MP4 22 from 2007. That's Lewis Hamilton's one. This is the Mattel version. I've already reviewed this one, and I'll give it a pretty slated review as well, because it's pretty cheaply made. I mean, this is one of those models that Mattel just rushed into production just to cash in on Hamilton's success at the time, and the results are pretty bad. So if you want to check out that review, then you can see. I mean, just taking it out the box was bad, but never mind. Below that, on the deck below, got the Titanic and a pewter model there, which is falling apart. And to the side of that, we've got the Williams FW36, the Spark model. I reviewed this one earlier in the year. One of the favourite Williams as well. It's the only Spark model I've got at the moment, so if you're asking for some Spark models, then I'm sorry, but this is the only one I have. A bit of a letdown that the wheels don't turn, but not a big issue. I mean, if you want a Williams this day and age, then that's all you can get really. But a resin model, the only resin model I have at the moment, and yeah, definitely one for the collection. Definitely one I'd recommend. But that's that one. So that's this portion of the room out the way. Just go zoom over this way and fall and break my neck. Where do we want to go now? Just trying to cough my guts up now in a minute. Got a bit of a cold. Right, well anyway. Over here behind this Spark, is it a Spark model? Yeah, this Spark Citroen there. Just want to show you it. But behind that is the Lotus E20. This is actually the E20 from 2012, although it's decked out in the 13 colour scheme because it's a show car. But you know, you can masquerade it as the race car because there's very little difference between the two. But it's definitely the E20 from 2012. Yeah, and it's the Kimi Raikkonen car as well. But the red really does let it down. I really wish they didn't go with that, but hey ho, never mind. And it's also got the step nose as well, which never agrees with me. Speaking of step noses, to go up to the next level, we've got the Mercedes W03 from 2012 with that ridiculous nose on the front, and I've already reviewed this one. This is the Nico Rosberg car. Nicely made model apart from the tyres, but the tyres are very badly produced on this one. The tyres stick to the base of the inside the box, you know, the plinth it's on. The tyres are sort of dissolved and melted into the base, and also the Pirelli stickers on the side are also very tacky as well, like they've never dried. They're sort of like wet paint tacky, and it really lets it down, but never mind on that front. So that's the 2012 Mercedes. Above that we've got the 2014 Red Bull Racing RB10. Already reviewed this one as well earlier in the year from I think it was January this year I did it, or March, not sure. But it's the 2014 Red Bull, Danny Ricciardo. I mean, the light in here is pretty bad. I mean, the window behind me, it's reflecting, and it's one of those days where the sun's not come out to play, so never mind. But that's that car, the 2014 Red Bull. Already reviewed it, of course. To the right of that, or the left, sorry, the Williams FW15 by Minichamps. This is the 1993 Williams, one of the two that I've already done a comparison with the Quartzo version. Go check that out. But this is where it sits on the shelf between two modern cars. And yeah, this is one of the crackers of the collection. Very rare, and if you can find it in this good a condition, then you're doing pretty well. To the left of that, we've got the McLaren minus the reflection, the McLaren MP427 from 2012. Already reviewed this one as well, very recently. This is the Genesis button version from 2012. The last of the race-winning McLarens, the last of the competitive McLarens, if you like. The rest of them have been pretty much bags of shit ever since, but never mind. So yeah, that's the 2012 car. Below that we got the Prost Acer from 2001. This is the last Prost ever produced, and it's another one I've reviewed. And in the car is Luciano Berti. I think this is one of 4 versions of this car available, although I've only ever seen 3, which is the LAC, the Frentzen, and this one. I think there was, I think there was 5, wasn't there? I mean, there's Mazzacane who drove the car beginning with, and then I think Thomas Enger drove it at the end of the season. I'm not sure if they ever produced the Prost with those 2 drivers in. I know they produced a show car with Mazzacane, but I'm not sure if they produced the race car, but wait and see. But yeah, I've already reviewed this one. I did this last year, I think, but very nice model as well. And below that, we've got the Williams FW19, so right behind the Loctite. Move that out of the way. So we've got the Williams FW19 there. This is one of 2 I reviewed as well. I've done, it's not a comparison, but I did 2 Williams at the time. The Villeneuve one and the Frentzen one. This is supposed to be the Frentzen one. This is actually the German driver version, but you all know it's the Frentzen version due to licensing and things, because Quartzo had the rights to the Frentzen name at the time. But yeah, I've already reviewed this one with the Villeneuve version as well. Slightly different liveries between the 2 as well. I mean, this is the I think this is the British Grand Prix livery, and the other car was the French Grand Prix livery. It's either that or the other way around. But we'll see. I have to have a look at that again. Right, below that, behind the monitor I got here, we've got a few more cars here. We've got the Williams FW21. I think I reviewed this one last year. This is the Zanardi version from 1999. The last of the red Williams and the Supertech powered cars. Very nicely made model as well. I was going to do a comparison with the Mattel version, but I actually sold the Mattel version prior to making the video, so that sort of blew that out of the water, so never mind. Below that we've got the Williams FW20, or is it 30 something, I'm not sure. It's from 2006. It'll tell me on the base one. It's on the base. It's the FW28 from 2006. The first of the V8 powered cars is the Ford cars. Looks beautiful, performed terribly, but hey ho, that's the way things go. And I will do a review of that one as well. It's a very nice looking car as well. So yeah, that's that one. And to the left or right of that is the Ferrari F2004. This is behind the monitor, so I can't get a very good view on it, but it's the 2004 Ferrari. Personally, one of my favourite Ferraris of all time, and the most competitive, well, I'll say competitive, most dominant Ferraris as well. This is the Barrichello version from 2004, and it's a very nice model it is as well. Yeah, it's hidden away there, so you can't really see it. Below that we've got the first of the Western McLarens. This is the McLaren MP412, not to be confused with the 12C, which is the sports car, or supercar rather. So this is the 1997 McLaren Mercedes. Mika Häkkinen at the wheel. And I was going to do a review with the orange car as well, but I don't have the orange version anymore. The orange version is the pre-season test car, but I don't have that one anymore, so I'll have to get hold of that before I do a review of this one. Just a sort of comparison, but hey ho, there we go. Standing up off the floor again, we shall spin around and start down here. So we've got here is the Ferrari F310 from 1996. This is the Schumacher. This is the first of the Schumacher Ferraris from 1996. 20 years ago now. That's scary when you think about it. 20 years ago. I mean, I was 10 at the time, I think. Yeah. So it's time flies. And although it's an ugly car, in my opinion, it's beautiful. It's unique looking, and you can say unique because no one copied it, because I suppose it was that bad. But it's one of 2 that I have. The other one is in the cabinet on the bottom shelf I showed you earlier on. It doesn't have a box, but it's in pristine condition as well. But I just got to sort of store it out the way so no dust gets on it. But that's that one there, and one below. And say below that we got the Benetton B200 from 2000. This is the Alex Wurz car. An unusual livery on this car. Well, I say unusual because it's sort of a difference to what Benetton are used to. Benetton sort of making flashy blue and dark blue colour schemes with white stripes and things, but instead they just went for a plain blue livery. and in my opinion it looks pretty good. And still got the price tag on it as well, but yeah, it's not a bad model, that one. I'd recommend. Below that we got the Mclaren MP415. This is the Minichamps version. I've already showed you the Mattel one, and this is one I did a comparison video with a few months back. And that's that one there. So that's the car from 2000. We've got two 2000 cars together. Below that we've got the, getting back down on the floor, we've got the Ferrari is it the F93A or 93C from 1993? One of the worst Ferraris ever built, and but one of the best looking, with the high nose, slope chassis, and unusual white stripe on it. But definitely a model to collect if you can find it, because it's so bloody rare. You're going to be paying through the nose for it. I mean, this car usually puts modern models to shame with the price tag it usually comes with. But on a good day, or on a seller's bad day, you can pick it up pretty cheap. So yeah, I'd recommend that one. This is the Alacy version as well. He already reviewed this one, I think, earlier in the year. So have a look at that one. Below that one we got the Williams FW23 from 2001. This is the Montoya version, the first of the race-winning BMW Williams cars by Minichamps. Very nice car it is as well. Definitely one I'd recommend. Although it's fairly basic, to be honest. I mean, the cars at that time were good looking but basic, if you like. They didn't have any super aerodynamic pieces or things like that. They just sort of looked like what Formula 1 cars should look like. But then again, that's history. So below that we got one of two Jordan 198. These are from 1998. I've already reviewed one of these models. This is before I actually bought the second one, because this one is the Tower Wings version. I didn't have this at the time when I reviewed the car, but the only difference is the Tower Wings on the sides, on the side pods there, and that's the only difference between that one. But this is a very nice model nonetheless, and yeah, check out the review of that one. Sorry, voice is dying. Below that we've got the other Williams FW19. This one didn't have an original box, but I put it in a Williams BMW box anyway. So this is one of the two that I've reviewed. This is the Villeneuve version with the R dot question mark on the side, whereas the other one just had a question mark. So that's the differences there. Nice model nonetheless. Below that we've got the Benetton B196 behind the Xbox controller. Get that out of the way. So that's the B196 from 1996. I think it's the first model I ever bought on eBay, and this was back about 15 years ago. I think about that. And my first eBay purchase, and I fell in love with this car immediately. And this is what got me collecting, really. It's just something that started the ball rolling, and I've loved it ever since. And I will not sell it, I will not give it away, and it's with me forever. Yeah, from 1996 this car, John Alacy at the wheel. Below that, got the Williams FW22 from 2000. Is it the 22? FW22. Yeah, it's the Williams FW22 from 2000. This is Jensen Button's first car, and the first BMW Williams, with the usual compact sponsorship and the white colour scheme. I wish it's the colour scheme they should have kept, really, because the blue, if you look at the 01 car, the blue didn't really look good on that car. With it, they should have done the whole car blue if they're going to do the blue colour scheme, or left it like this, because I think this colour scheme is more striking. But then again, that's just me. So that's that one there. That's the Minichamps version as well, because it's in the proper Team Williams box. Excuse me. And to the side of that we got the Jordan 196 from 1996. Martin Brundle at the wheel. And I've reviewed this one already. The Jordan Peugeot gold colour scheme. And very nice model it is as well. Very rare as well if you can get it in the box. Because you tend to see a lot of these pop up on eBay, at least with out boxes, and usually without wing mirrors as well. So if you can get this one pristine and in a pristine box, you're doing pretty well. I paid about £15 for this one, so I got it on a good day. Just up from that is the BAR Honda, I think it's the 006 from 2004, Takuma Sato at the wheel. This is the car that pretty much launched Jensen Button into the worldwide stardom that he pretty much deserved, because the cars he'd driven before were pretty much bags of shite, but this one sort of started him on the podium scoring business. He didn't win a race for another 2 years, but this one really got him going, and this is the Takuma Sato version as well. And there's another name that has disappeared from Formula 1, Takuma, but never mind. But yeah, this is quite a big car as well. I mean, the big engine cover and the very large nose and things on this car, it's a sight to behold, really. But yeah, definitely one for the collection. Just above that is the Red Bull Renault RB6, I think, from 2010. Already reviewed this one as well. This is the Mark Webber version. This is where Formula 1 models of well, this era start to take off with the details and things. And this one really shows. I mean, the cars are starting to get really big now. I mean, compare that to the car below. You can't really tell, really. You need this one sort of standing next to a modern or to an older car to really see how much these cars are blown up in size. With the longer wheelbase and bigger wings and things, cars are just jumped in size. But that's that one. Above that we got the Sauber C24, I think, from 2005, the last of the blue Saubers, and it's just before they were taken over by BMW. And it's the 2005 car with Jacques Villeneuve at the wheel. Stunning looking model, and it's one of the Model Zone purchases, and you can see the tab on the side there to zoom in on the price. £20 knocked down for £40. That's a bloody joke. Well, I say not a joke, but that, you know, this, I bought this in 2007, and it was reduced from £39.99. That was the price you bought cars at the time. Now you sort of add a 1 and maybe another 0 on the end, and that's the price of cars today. You know, £140 is sort of the cars today, or maybe even £200 for this car today if you're going to buy it. You know, if it's brand new. But yeah. Fucking ridiculous, and the prices is, yeah, if you're a collector, then yeah, the prices will just kill you. But yeah, this is one of those good purchases at the time, 20 quid, and one of the best looking cars as well. I mean, the blue colour scheme with the sculpting, it really does stand out. Definitely one for the collection I'd recommend. Above that is the Jordan EJ 14 from 2004. This is the last proper Eddie Jordan before they sold up to the Russians, and it is the last sort of the last nail in the coffin, really. The Jordan team was on the massive downward spiral, and this is pretty much it. And a nice looking car, but just not terribly effective with that Ford engine, and it sort of damaged Nick Heidfeldt's credibility as well. It sort of damaged his career a little bit, but he bounced back. And I think this is the Giorgio Pantano version. This is this yellow helmet in the car there. This is the Minichamps version. Of course, there is a Mattel version, but I haven't got hold of that one yet. Above that is the Jordan 199, minus the sunny reflection. If I just sit up here, I think that's the light's starting to die, so that's why the lights get a bit funny. So that's the 199 there. I've already reviewed this one from 1999. Damon Hill at the wheel, and it was Jordan at their absolute best. I mean, this is Jordan at their best, and that's Jordan at their worst. How ironic, they're just one space between, or one space away from each other. But yeah, the 199 there, 2 wins, 3rd in the Constructors' Championship. They'll never be the same again. But never mind. But above that, we've got the Ferrari F2000, or is it the F1 2000 from the 2000 season. Michael Schumacher at the wheel, and it's not bolted down in the box, so it's sort of rolling about a bit. So there we go. But this is probably the most, or I'll say the most, what's the word? The most available, I should say, because this one is on eBay, and it goes from pennies to about a £5. I mean, it's not worth anything really. This card is massively overproduced, and you probably couldn't sell it if you put it on eBay for a penny. You probably wouldn't be able to sell it. But there you go. This one's got a box, but it's not screwed down, so that sort of lacks there. But it's the 2000 Ferrari, one of 2. The other one's in the cabinet, the spares and repairs, but not a hugely desirable model, but it's not bad. It's just a bit cheaply made and overproduced, but never mind. Above that we've got the Sauber. This is another one of those Sauber things. It's a Sauber C 20. Was it a C20 or the C22? I can't remember. I know that one down there. That's a C24. So you're back C24, the 23, 22, 21. I think it's the C20 from 2001. This is the Nick Heidfeldt version, but it's the same car that Kimi Räikkönen started his career in. And the blue on this one is absolutely amazing. I really like the blue colour scheme on this one, and I can't get the bloody zoom in to work. There we go. But the colour scheme is very nicely done on this car. The blue metallic on it, and it really does shine well. And one of the best looking Saubers going, despite the white nose. But yeah, definitely one for the collection. I would recommend that one. You zoom out again and get up off the floor, because we're going up on onto the shelves. I just trod on my phone, which didn't help. Right, where are we? Shelves of cars here. We've just done a massive load of cars. Now I've got another massive load of cars to do. Right, I really should have done this in a part 2 video, but hey ho, we're here now. I'll start on the top. We've got the Renault R20 something, because I can't see which one it is. I think it's the R26 from 2006. Next to that is the show car from 2007, which is basically just a repaint of that one. So I've already reviewed these ones, these Renaults on the top. Already reviewed all them. So the R26, 26, 25 and 24. Check them out, they're not bad models, those ones. So I did them in a sort of a series after each other, so it was the 24, 25, 26. So that's those. I just move over here without tripping over the chair. We've got another car I've already reviewed, or two cars I've reviewed. The Jordan EJ10 from 2000 and the EJ11. They're both Mattel Jordans. The first of the downward spiral Jordans from 2000, the utterly unreliable but good looking Jordan. With Heinz-Harald Frentzen at the wheel, I think. And next to that is the EJ11, the slightly better but equally as hopeless Jordan from 2001. The car with the shark on the nose. Already reviewed these two, so check them ones out. Below that we got the Williams FW25 from 2003. This is the Mattel version, so it's not hugely desirable, but you can pick it up, it's pretty good. This is the 2003 car. This is the Ralf Schumacher one, and it's probably the last proper competitive Williams, although they still managed to screw up the championship that year. And it's sort of the beginning of the downward spiral of Williams. But can't get the camera straight, but I'll just put it up there. So here you go. It's the Mattel version, so the nose is not quite as detailed as it should be. I mean, the Minichamps version will probably do it a bit more justice. I don't have that one at the moment. To the left of that we've got the Stewart SF2 from 1998. Already reviewed this one as well. Not a bad model. It's the first line of Mattel models, so it's fairly cheaply made. And my camera's starting to die. The tripod's a bit pivoty. But it's the first wave of Mattel F1 cars in 1/18 scale, and definitely one I'd pick up, even if it does look a bit weird in comparison to the rest. It's definitely one I would get. Next to that is another one I've reviewed, is the McLaren MP421, another Mattel model. This is from 2006, the chrome effect car, though it's not as chromy as it could be. It's not bad overall. This is the Kimi Räikkönen version from 2006, the winless McLaren of that era, if you like. But not bad overall. And what I'd recommend, depending if you like Mattel or Minichamps, but I think the Mattel one's a bit more easy to get hold of. To the left of that we got another Renault. This is the R23 from 2003. This is the Fernando Alonso version. It was quite rare to get hold of at the time when I bought this, but I think it's the availability is sort of a bit more well, easier to get hold of, if you like. It's I'm sort of my arms going to sleep a bit here, but yeah, it's definitely one of those cars you can pick up a bit easier now. If you're a Fernando Alonso collector, that's definitely the one for you. Sort of got him going, made him a bit more of a superstar than what he was at the time, and I will review that one at a later date. I can't get a good angle on this one because of the light, but yeah, there we go. Next to that is the Ferrari F2002 from 2002. There's the Barrichello version, and it's the first of the two utterly dominant Ferraris from that era. The other one was the 2004, and not a bad model. I've not actually had this one out the box, to be honest with you. I've never taken this one out the box. It's still sealed at both ends. And I cut you into a little secret of this one. I bought this one on eBay the day after Schumacher announced his retirement from Formula 1 in 2006, so he's still at Ferrari at the time. And I think everyone went out and panic bought every Schumacher model on eBay and just left everything else. So I picked up this one and I paid a penny for it. It was free P&P, and I paid a penny for it. And that just shows you what goes on in those days. So everyone went out and bought the Schumacher models and paid ridiculous money for it, and I picked this one up for a measly penny. So that's one of the good luck charms of the collection. To the left of that is the McLaren MP420 from 2005. This is the super fast car. This was the one that really got the juices going in 2005. It just the car let Kimi down, really. It's the reliability that got it at the end. And It's just a real shame. One of the weird looking cars as well. I really want to review this one, although it is only the Mattel version. The Minichamps version is a bit more difficult to get hold of, but we'll do this one if you're interested. Just let me know. Below that we got the Stewart SF, or is it SF1? I'm not sure. Or is it the Stewart Ford 01 from 1997? This is the first of the Stewarts, the wide track cars. Second place at the Monaco Grand Prix that year, and that was pretty much it. No other points finishes, but it's a stunning looking car, despite the tartan sort of letting it down. It varies what your opinion is of what the tartan does to you, or does for you. To me, it sort of lets it down a little bit, but never mind. But a stunning looking car nonetheless, rather. But yeah, that's the Stewart from there, 1997. Barrichello at the wheel as well. To the right of that is the BAR 006 007 show car. It's actually a repaint of the 06 I've done. I just showed you on the bottom shelf, and it's for the 2005 season. So it's just a show car. I picked this one up at the Goodwood Festival of Speed about 10 years ago. It went really cheap, so it was at the Model Zone stand. They had a pallet load of these things, so I picked that up pretty sharpish. So yeah, that's just a show car there. To the side of that is the Mercedes-Benz W01 from 2010. This is the Schumacher version. This is the low nose car. This is the proper shebang, Mercedes-Benz, if you like, the first after the Braun takeover. And yeah, it's one of those models that it's a bit weird. It's sort of matte paint on it, but it's shiny. Not really sure what to say about this, and I expect a lot of people I'm reviewing this to sort of know what I mean. But it's definitely one for the collection. It's also the model or at least the car they've represented here is the early season version as well. I think from the Spanish Grand Prix onwards they changed the airbox into a sort of a pillar in the middle, and it sort of looked ridiculous. So I'm quite happy that Minichamps made the early season version. So it's definitely a look at. But I'm not doing the look of the car justice because of the camera angle. But that's that one. That's the 2010 Mercedes there. To the side of that we've got the Toyota TF102 from 2002, the first of the Toyotas, and a fairly substandard car, or substandard in performance anyway, but the model itself ain't too bad. It's a pretty good model. Not hugely I say collectible. It's not hugely expensive. If you want to get hold of this one, it comes about quite often. It's either this one or a show car of it. It's sort of you can get them in dealer boxes as well. They're sort of available at Toyota dealers and things. But it's not a bad model. There are other ones about. There are plenty of these Toyota TF102s about, so they're not rare in any aspect. To the right of that we've got the Benetton B199 from 1999. One of the cars that represented the Benetton's downfall from being the top team to the bottom team, and it's the 99 car. I think they're 5th that year in the Constructors' Championship. The car was fast, relatively fast in the first half of the season, then completely pointless and hopeless in the second half. It's sort of a Benetton trait at that era. And not a bad looking car though, but I don't think it holds much up against the 98 car, which I have in the collection behind me. To the right of that we have the Lotus 98T. I've already reviewed this one as well. This is the Johnny Dumfries version, and a very nice car it is as well. The black and gold JPS Lotus colour scheme. Not really done justice by the lack of John Player Special on it, but nonetheless not a bad model. You see it, you can go check it out on my channel. I've already reviewed this one. I'm going to sleep again. Down below that we got the Prost AP02 from 1999. Is it the AP02? Yeah, I think it is. The Prost AP02 from 1999. The Prost Peugeot. And this is the Jarno Trulli version. Sorry, the camera's going a bit funny. I'm trying to put something down on the desk, so I'm trying to do 2 jobs at once. But yeah, that's the Prost there, with the funny shaped side pods. This is the second model I picked up as well. I picked this one up at a model shop in Totton in Southampton, or just to the west of Southampton. And this is one of the other models that sort of got me in collecting these cars. And look at if you take this one out of the box, look at the sculpting around the rear bodywork. It's very nicely done, and yeah, it's definitely one for the collection. Even though the car was a bag of shit in reality, it's a very nicely sculpted and designed car, and one I'd recommend. To the left of that we go to the BAR 5, I think, from 2003. This is the first of Jensen Button's BARs, and the Honda powered car. Very nicely made model as well. This is one I picked up at the Goodwood Festival of Speed in 2004. I bought this right at the hype of the Jensen Button thing, Jensen Button hype, the top of this hype when he was at BAR. He was scoring podiums left, right and centre, and I went out and bought this one just to jump on the bandwagon. And I'm glad I picked it up as well. I paid a bit too much for it at the time. I paid pretty much full retail at the time, which was $39.99, so I really broke the balance on that one. But say if I pay retail for it today, it'd probably be about £239, but there you go. I've sort of got off lightly with that one. So yeah, that's the 03 car. To the left of that we've got the Red Bull Racing RB2 from 2006. This is the V6 Ferrari powered car. Very deeply cut side pod as well, the very bulgy side pod. Very elegant looking car this is. This car didn't actually fit in the cabinet. I had this in the cabinet for a day and it didn't fit. I couldn't shut the doors because the car is so long. With the long chassis and the big rear wing end plates. I couldn't shut the door because it was so big, so I had to put it back in the box. But overall, very nice car. The camera not doing it justice, but it is a very, very nicely sculpted car. Just the performance of it didn't really do it justice, but never mind. So that's the 2006 car with the DC at the wheel. Left of that we've got the McLaren MP4 23 from 2008. This is Lewis Hamilton's championship winning car. Already reviewed this one as well, so you can see, check that one out as well. This is the another one of those ridiculous wheel spinner cars. Don't like them, but yeah, that's the 2008 car. This is pretty much kibble caboodle, if you like. This car's completely covered in aerodynamic bits and bobs. There's not one of those cars you want to take out the box very often in case you sort of sneeze on it and something falls off. So be careful with it. To the left of that we've got the Red Bull RB 8 from 2012. This is the step nose version. This is the 2012 car, of course, and camera not doing it justice, but this is the 2012 car. Already said that twice. And Mark Webber at the wheel, as you can tell there, and in the grey Red Bull Star Minichamps box. Definitely another one for this collection. It's another one of those cars that sort of stands out, or sort of stands out for its time. Very big car, very detailed car. It's just the nose that let it down, I think. But 2012 was a really topsy-turvy year, wasn't it? And Red Bull eventually come out on top, but it's one of those. It's one of those funny seasons. But yeah, the 2012 Red Bull there. Mark Webber at the wheel. To the left of that we got another McLaren. It's the McLaren MP4 25 from 2010. This car's huge as well, like the Red Bulls. This has got the really big F-duct bodywork on the rear, and this is a Lewis Hamilton version. It's a 2010 car. Probably my favourite, if not, well, I'll say one of my favourites at least, of the McLarens of that era. I mean, the big size of this car is huge. I mean, if you take it out of the box and you can see the big engine cover, the big side pods, the big nose and all that, it really stands out on this car. Just a shame they didn't go on with the concept, but never mind. So yeah, that's that one, the 2010 McLaren. Below that, and behind the broken hard drive, which I just chuck out the way, is the Williams FW24 from 2002. This is the Mattel version. So this is one of the cheap models I've picked up. Well, I say cheap models, it's fairly expensive in price, but cheaply made. It's sort of a repaint of the 2001 car to bring it out into the 2002 seasons. It's in a compact sponsored box, and it's all right. It's for a collection filler, if you like, or a space filler, but it's not one of those models I'd rush out and buy again. And yeah, it's not great, but it's not bad in any way. It's just cheap. But yeah, 2002 Williams there. To the left or right of that is the Williams FW20 something else, because it's behind something else. Get that out of the way. It's the Williams FW27 from 2005. This is the first of that era of cars, the Mark Webber era. And bulky side pods, funny shaped wings, and a reflection that annoys. The RBS Williams there with the tilted HP, and very nice model it is as well. Very big car as well, very long car, and definitely one that stands out as well, because it's such a mediocre Williams it was. I mean, the Williams previously from say 2000 to 2004 were, although up and down, they had their competitive streaks. This car just seems so mediocre, it's ridiculous. But 5th overall that season, not too bad in comparison, but yeah, last hurrah for BMW Williams. But yeah, not a bad model. To the right of that we got the Ferrari F2005, which is pretty much just a repaint of the F2004. We'll say repaint, basically just using the same mould, same paint, and just change the front and rear wings. That's pretty much what the 05 car was. But performance-wise, this car was awful. I mean, it was. I'll say the car wasn't bad. I think it's just the tyres that let it down, because the rules of that year was you weren't allowed to change your tyres. Then Bridgestone couldn't come up with a tyre that could match the Michelins for durability, so Ferrari floundered rather. So yeah, the car was pretty much just a carbon copy of the 04 car, just with a few different wings. So yeah, it lets it down a bit, but it's not a bad model though. If you can get a decent camera angle on it, I mean, it looks absolutely amazing. But yeah, so that's that one. That's the Barrichello one from 2005. To the left or right of that is the Jaguar. This is the Jaguar R1 painted up as the R2, so it's a show car from 2001. And it's basically, yeah, the Jaguar R1, but with Michelin tyres and Best instead of Beck's sponsorship on the side pods there. So yeah, it's basically a show car. So not much to say about that one. To the right of that is the Jaguar R3. This is the proper race car from 2002. And what Eddie Irvine described as a barrel of shit. And it's definitely different to the car to the left because of the sloped nose on it. It's the low nose or slope nose Jaguar R3, Cosworth powered car, and Eddie Irvine's last Formula 1 car as well. Although Formula 1 doesn't really miss him, he's a prick anyway. But yeah, it's the Jaguar R3 there. This is the Mattel version as well. All the Jags up to 2002 were Mattel only. So it's only from 2003, 4 and 2003 and 4 I think that Minichamps got on the bandwagon. And over to the right here is what I believe is the most overproduced Ferrari ever made by Mattel. This is the Ferrari F248 from 2006. And I think Mattel sort of cashed in on Schumacher's retirement at the time with making the I think Chinese Grand Prix version, the Bahrain Grand Prix version, the San Marino Grand Prix version, the pole position Grand Prix version, Michael Schumacher having his shit version, and all those versions of this car with different bits and bodyworks and paint and wheel spinners and things. Yeah, this is probably the most overproduced car. This is the absolute bog standard version, by the way, so I haven't gone out and rushed out to buy the whichever versions are available. I just went out and bought the basic versions. This is it. I bought this in 2007. I think it was in January of that year. So yeah, I think it was January that year, or was it later? I'm not sure. But anyway, I bought this one after the hype had all died down, so yeah, that's that. To the right of that we got a collection of NASCAR models, and I won't do a rundown of what they are, but they're 1/24 scale NASCARs, or NASCAR stock cars if you like. Just got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there. I've got a few more lying around, but I won't go into detail what they are today. If you're interested in what they are, then I'll do a review later on, but that's that. Right, last port of call is the big back wall over here with the light shining on them, so I've got a bit more light on them. Just open the curtain a bit more. Alright, where should we start? We've got a big load of cars to talk about here. I'll just shut the window as well, just to stop the noise from coming in. Right, so there we go. Right, so I'll start down here. We've got the Ferrari F2008 from 2008. Kimi Raikkonen version as well. This is one of those funny colour cars. This is the cherry red version of the car. I'm not sure if they actually made a proper version, but hey ho, there we go. So yeah, it's one of those cars that I picked up at Goodwood and was on a pallet of about 1 million other cars, so this is really, really cheap, so I picked that up. Not a bad model, but ridiculous amounts of aerodynamic bits and bobs stuck on it. In contrast, we go to the right, we've got the 2009 Ferrari, which is probably one of the worst reviewed cars I've ever seen, or ever read about, because the price doesn't do it justice, really. The detailing on the car is fairly basic, the paintwork is not top notch, and that's pretty much it, really. There's not much to say about this car. It's a Ferrari, it's red, and it's from 2009. It's got the slick tyres with the rim, or the seam, running down the middle. It's also got ridiculous wheel spinners, so you've got spinners on the front, you've got spinners on the back, or the other way around. So Yeah, same with the '08 car, that's got the spinners as well, but the '09 car just sort of looked out of proportion and basic really, but that's that one. To the right we've got the other 2010 Ferrari, which I've already reviewed. That's the Massa version there, so not much to say about that one. To the right of that we've got the Ferrari F150 Italia from 2011, that's the Massa version. Another nice model as well. It's not too bad. It's one of this is the basic version. There is the Elite version as well, but I won't go much on that one because I've never seen it. So there we go. But this is from 2011. It's one of the weakest Ferraris of the era that we're talking about. One win, and the rest was pretty much obscurity. The car wasn't really that competitive, so that was that. But that's that one. To the right of that we've got the Ferrari F2012 with that ridiculous nose on the front. You can't really see it there, but there it is, the step nose on the front. So that's the 2012 Ferrari there. Although it was a bag of shit, it was a bag of shit in testing, a bag of shit in the early season, but it was a championship contender, so yeah, not much else you can say about that really. But that's that. To the right of that we've got the Ferrari F138 from 2013. This is the Ferrari with all the black detailing on it. Very nice car as well. And the last of the raised nose cars as well. So from 2014 onwards, the car had the ridiculously sloped nose that everyone sort of threw up on. So that was that. But this is the box standard version as well, the Fernando Alonso version. The last car that Fernando to date has won races in. And it's hard to think, since then Ferrari have only won 3 races. None in 2014, 3 in 2015, and none so far in 2016. So Ferrari not in a good time. Anyway, above that we've got the not the Red Bull, we've got the Williams. No, not a Williams either. It's a BAR Honda 007 from 2005. 007 is a joke, isn't it? So this is the a follow-up to their successful 2004 season. They brought out this car and then they fell straight back down again because this car was awful to begin with. Uncompetitive, unreliable, and a joke in comparison, and they got themselves thrown out for a couple of races as well, but they all came good at the end of the season. They managed to put a good solid performance for the rest of the season, but the car was a dive really. But I can't really get a good view on it because it's behind the lamp, but there we go. To the left of that we've got the BMW Sauber, is it the 07 from 2007. This is a Nick Heidfeld version. And this is one of the models I paid a lot of money for. I paid £49.99 for this one, or basically 50 quid, at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. And I'll say 50 quid ain't too bad really. I bought this in 2 years ago, 2014. So I don't think I did too bad on the price. But the prices at Goodwood are starting to go up, so you find a good bargain, you're sort of in trouble. But this is the 07 car. I sort of got Sauber on the in the right direction. And second in the Constructors' Championship that year, or was it third? Can't really remember, but Mclaren got thrown out, so I imagine it was Sauber who moved up to second overall. And not a bad car, that one. That's the Heidfeld version as well, I don't have the Quartzo one. To the left of that we've got the Minardi M03 from 2003. This is the Jos Verstappen version. It's the only Minardi as well that I can think of that has actually been recreated in 1/18 scale. All the rest have been 1/43. So this is the 2003 car. One of 3 versions of this car. No, hang on. One of 5 versions of this car. You got the 3 drivers, Verstappen, Wilson, and Chiesa versions, and they also got an early season version with black side pods as well for Wilson and Verstappen, and also I think it's a 6th version with wet tyres on as well. So they pulled the stops out when they made this car. They sort of made every version that was available, and it's just a shame they didn't follow up with it the next season or seasons other than that, but never mind. So yeah, that's the Minardi there, definitely one for the collection. Nice black livery as well. To the side of that we've got the other Jordan 198, which I've already reviewed. I showed you the Tower Wings one down below, so that's that one there, so not much to say about that one. To the left of that we've got the Lotus 49 from 1967, the Dutch Grand Prix with Jim Clark at the wheel. Can't really see it there because it's all strapped up in a box, but that's the car there. I will review this one at a later date as well, and can't really say much about it, but definitely one for the collection. left of that we've got a Toyota. It's the TF105 from 2005. This is the Ralph Schumacher version. I actually owned this for about 5 years before I actually took it out of the box and realised it was damaged, which I'm a bit annoyed about, but never mind. The golden rule is really, if you buy a model online, best thing to do is once you receive it is open it and have a good old look about it. But I didn't, and I realised the suspension was broken about 5 years later, but never mind. But one of the rarer Toyotas, although it has been recreated as show cars as well, so it's sort of 50-50 on whether you get the proper 05 car or the 06 show car, but not a bad model if you can find one in good condition. Up from there you got the Benetton B191. Already reviewed this one as well. This is a very big model, a very heavy car. This is very chunky tyres, chunky suspension. I mean, it's solid as a rock. And this is the Schumacher version. Like I said, already reviewed it, so take a look if you're interested. And that's the B191 from 1991. 25 years ago that car came out. Well, the real car, not the model, but yeah, the 25-year-old chassis now. Amazing. To the right of that we've got the Toro Rosso RB, Toro Rosso STR3, is it, from 2008. This is the one I've already reviewed. This is the Sebastian Vettel car, which he won the Italian Grand Prix. Got his arms raised there. Also on wet tyres. And it's just a shame that they didn't recreate the Red Bull from that year as well, 'cause it's basically the same car, but there you go. Licensing and all that. But yeah, already reviewed this one, so take a look. Not a bad car, that one. To the right of that we've got the Jordan EJ13. This is the first of the two Cosworth powered cars from the early teens, or the early 2000s. It's the only car of that era that won a race, and that was pretty much its only points of that year, although 3 more were scored. It took 10 points for the win and then only 3 more after that, so it was a pretty bit of a dog that year, but I won't hold that against them. The money wasn't there, but it's not a bad model. This is the Minichamps version as well, obviously, and there's also a Mattel version, which is, you can buy that when it comes in all grey mud and dirt and all that up the side, so it's given it a race effect. But this is just a clean version. To the right of that we've got the Sauber. This is another one of those Sauber Cs of some description. I think it's the C20, 21, I don't know. It's from 2000. No, it's from 1999 actually. The 99 Sauber with Pedro Diniz at the wheel, and probably one of the worst Saubers up to that point. Only 5 points scored. Although it's a stunning looking car, it's just terrible reliability and uncompetitiveness. But never mind. That's that one. So that's from 1999. To the right of that we've got the McLaren MP4-18. No, not 18. The MP4-13 from 1998. This is the World Championship car, the last McLaren to actually win a Constructors' Championship, from 1998. This is actually 18 years ago now. It's frightening. But it's got DC at the wheel there. It's the first of the Groove Tyres cars as well, and also the only McLaren of that era to have neither of the drivers named on the side. So that's that one there. So that's DC in that car there. Up from that we've got the Jordan 197 from 1997. Already reviewed this one as well, so you want to take a look at that one. This is one of the good-looking cars of that era. I'll say all the cars looked good in 1997, but this one sort of stood out as the bright yellow thing it was, with the snake on the front. But yeah, we already reviewed that one, so take a look at that one. To the left of that we've got the BAR Supertech from 1999. Another one I've already reviewed, with the split personality colour scheme and ridiculous reliability and drivability and all that. No points scored, although they bigged themselves up into saying they were going to win their first race. What fools they were, and what fools they still are at the time. But there you go, that's the Mikasalo version. This is one of 3 versions. Of course, you've got the Villeneuve, the Zonta, and of course this one, the Salo version. So that's one of 3 there, so that's that one. And to the side of that, we've got the Benetton B198. This is probably now my favourite Benetton. I mean, the colour scheme and the black rims, the shape of the chassis, and that just stands out amazingly. It's very similar to the 199, but this one sort of stands out. The very high nose and the gorgeousness, the simplicity of the colour scheme. It's just a shame the reliability and performance didn't stand out that year. Although they were comfortably 3rd in the season, going into the halfway, they sort of dropped back and ended up 5th. But never mind. Stunning looking car. One I'd recommend, and Alex Wurz is at the wheel. To the left of that, we've got the Arrows A 20 from 1999. This is sort of like the Sauber problem with the numbers being not matching up with the year, but it's the arrows I think from 1999, the orange colour scheme. Already reviewed this one as well, the Respel and T minus and all that. So took this Toro Takagi at the wheel, and the price tag is still attached at £25, but never mind. To the side of that we've got the Williams FW18. Already reviewed this one as well. This is Damon Hill's car from 1996. 20 years old this model is now. It's ridiculous. 20 years ago now Damon Hill won the championship, but you know, time flies and rules change. But stunning looking car. Can't get the light on it because of the curtain in the way, but yeah, it's a stunning model and one I'd recommend. Various versions available as well. They've got the Quartzo version, you've got Onyx version, and I think Minichamps are meant to be reproducing this soon. Although that soon is sort of extending past 10 years, but there you go. Above that you've got the Toro Rosso STR1 from 2006. This is the last of the V10 F1 cars. Already reviewed this one as well, so take a look at that one. Very rare model and definitely one to get hold of. To the right of that we've got the Tollman TG184 from 1984. This is the same car Senna made his debut in, or I'd say not the same one, it's the same car Senna made a name for himself in, rather, because Senna actually debuted in the 83 car, but this is the car that he stood out in. Although this is Johnny Cicotto at the wheel, and yeah, we already reviewed this one, so take a look. Lots of detail on this one, the engines and things, and the extra wings and things, so that's one to look for. To the right of that we got the Red Bull RB7 from 2011. This is another one of those big F1 cars from this era, from 2011. This is Vettel's championship winning car, his second one, and it's the car this is the one he deserved the championship in, to be honest. It's the 2011 car, basically the same as the 2010 car minus the shark fin and the Pirelli tyres, but definitely one for the collection. And this is the car that if you look on YouTube, there's actually a video that shows the production of this car at the Minichamps factory in China, and this is the model they produce. So go and have a look if you can find it, and yeah, definitely one for the collection. It's not particularly rare, but yeah, definitely a car to go for. Also been reproduced as a show car, but never mind. To the right of that we've got the Williams FW14. This is the 91 car. This is one of the two I've already reviewed. I've did a comparison with the Quartzo version behind me, so this is the 91 car. If you want to take a look at that on my channel, and by all means do so. But definitely a stunner to look at, the Williams Williams of that era. Lovely car. So that's that one there. Riccardo Patrese at the wheel. So to the right of that we've got the BAR Honda from 2000. I've already reviewed this one as well. This is the first of the Honda powered BARs, and definitely a stunner there. And yeah, I already reviewed this one, but very simple looking car, but you know, very nice looking car nonetheless. And yeah, already reviewed that one, so go check a look. To the right of that we've got the Ferrari F399 from 1999. Already reviewed that one very recently as well, and it's not particularly a great car, but there you go, that's what you can expect. Check out the review, you'll sort of hear what I say about this car. So it's the F399 from 1999, Lady Irvine at the wheel. And two cars I missed in the collection. There's one below is the Ligier, the other Ligier, the JS41 from 1995. This is the Brundle version, with Brundle in the car there, and it's actually in a box as well. So that's the Martin Brundle car there. The Suzuki one's in the cabinet behind me. So that's that one there. Down below that is another one I've missed, is the Renault RA106 from 2006. This is the Barrichello version, but it's the car that Jenson Button finally won his first race in. My voice is dying as well. But yeah, this is the very rare model now as well. You can't seem to find this one available. This is another one I picked up at Goodwood. This car was on a pallet of about 1,000 Jenson Button models, and when I went to pick mine up, it was actually a Barrichello one I picked up, but I didn't realise that till I got home. But never mind. But £20 at the time, I wasn't going to say no to it, so I picked this one up. I wish I picked up more now, to be honest, but I couldn't carry too many. But this was in the Model Zone stand as well. But yeah, definitely one for the collection if you can get hold of it as well. If you want me to do a review of it, then by all means let me know. the RA106 there from 2006. Just going to stand up now because I've got a few more on the top shelf. Falling over. Right, so we'll start in the top left corner here. We've got the Williams FW26 from 2004. This is the walrus nose version and the ugly version of the car, the Mattel version as well. And I've already reviewed this one, so check that one out. To the right of that is the Prost AP01 from 1998. Oh, another one I've reviewed as well, so check that one out. This is the 98 car. That high nose, a very beautiful looking car. But yeah, nice looking car. Just a shame it was a bag of shit in reality, but there you go. To the right of that, another one I've reviewed is the Benetton B197 from 1997. Beautiful blue and, well, mixed up colour scheme really compared to the other Benettons, but definitely one for the collection, and one I've already reviewed, like I said, so check that one out. This is well, yeah, it's the Lacy version from 1997, so yeah, it's a stunning model, that one. To the right of that is another one I've reviewed, is the Benetton B201 from 2001 with Jensen Button at the wheel. So yeah, I already reviewed this one. Nice looking car, just a shame for the performance as well. But yeah, this another one I've reviewed before, so check that one out as well on my channel. To the side of that we've got the Sauber. This is another one of those Saubers with the funny numbers on. This is the Sauber C20 something or other. I'll say C21 from 2002. This is another Heidfeld version. So this is the 2002 car. It's basically an exact repaint of the 2001 car, just with a slightly different nose on it. And the camera's starting to die, so I may run out of video on this one. So that's the 2002 car. To the right of that is the Williams FW20, the red coloured Williams. Already reviewed that one, so if you want to check that one out. I'm just trying to speed this video up as I can because the camera's starting to die. So that's the FW20 there. Below that we've got the Brawn BG001 from 2009, Jensen Button's car there. And once again another one I've reviewed, so take a look at that one. To the right, left, whichever, is the Sauber C22, I think, from 2003. This is the Frentzen version, the last car of Frentzen's career, and also the sloped nose car, and also sort of a topsy-turvy livery with this one. They've put the Red Bull logo right over the airbox, but it's not a bad thing. That just sort of made the car look a bit different to its predecessors. But it was a shame, really, that Frentzen went out with, you know, pretty much no real comeback on that. Yeah, although he did finish third in one race. Over to the right is where Formula 1 got a bit silly in 2009. This car is the 2009 BMW Sauber F109 with Kubica at the wheel. Although people say it's ugly as fuck, but I've actually liked this car. I was sceptical at the time, thinking it was ugly as hell, but I've actually fallen in love with this car. I really do appreciate it, but yeah, that's that one there. To the left of that, the Ferrari F300 from 1998. Another one I've already reviewed, so take a look at that one. And then to the left of that is the Lotus 79 from 1978. Once again, another one I've reviewed, so take a look there. As you can tell, I'm trying to speed this video up. To the left of that, we've got the Arrows A22 from 2001. This is the Enrique Bernaldi version, with the Red Bull on the side there. This is the what was a bag of shit that year, but it was a good-looking car, and yeah, not a bad-looking car. That one was one of the ones that sort of don't stand out in the collection because it's pushed right over to the side. But never mind on that one. Below that, we've got the Sauber C13 from 1994, I think, the Tissot colour scheme car. Once again, the plastic on the box is reflecting badly, so you can't really get a good view of it. But it's a 1994 car with Heidfeld Frentzen at the wheel. So that's that one there. And to the right of that, we've got the Red Bull RB1 from 2005. This is the only V10 powered Red Bull. Basically a Jaguar painted blue, but that's the first Red Bull Formula 1 car from 2005. Nice model as well. Definitely one for review if you want me to. To the right of that, another one I've reviewed, the BMW Sauber F106 from 2006. So take a look at that one. That's the Villeneuve version. And then to the right of that is the Scuderia Toro Rosso RB4 from 2009. It's basically another repaint of a Red Bull. This is the basically a repaint of the RB5 from that year. but not a bad model as well. And I'm trying to hurry this up because the camera's really dying now. So that's that car there. And to the right of that is the Prost AP03 from 2000. This was what was dubbed the bag of shit that year. And no points and constant crashes and things and breakdowns, and really let the team down that year. Right, back again. Managed to chart a battery, but it's been a couple of days. So there's about 36-48 hours between these jump cuts, but never mind. This is where I left off at the Prost AP03 from 2000. There's a bit more light in here as well, so we can have a bit more of a zoom. So here's the Prost right there from 2000. I might go over some of the models again just to explain a bit more, because I was jumping at the time, but that was because I was in a hurry. But anyway, to the right of that one, or to the left, I done that one. We're off to the Jordan now. We're off to the Jordan 191 from 1991. Already reviewed this one. This is the Schumacher model, and quite fittingly, it is 25 years almost to the day that this car gave Michael Schumacher his debut race. There's a little article about it on the Sky F1 website, and well, that was more of a video really, but just had a look at it and goes through all the motions of that time. And a real cracker this model was as well. Still got the price tag on the box. It's labelled at £20. That was from 2008 I bought this. Try getting one of these for £20 these days. It just ain't gonna happen. But yeah, that's that one there. The Jordan 191. Below that, or is it to the right? Nope, nothing to the right. So below that we got the Benetton B195. Another one I've already reviewed. This is the Johnny Herbert version. And this is also one of those very nice looking cars. A lot of clutter in the way of sponsors, but the colour scheme really does make the car shine. And like I said, it's basically, well, this car was used as a base for two other cars. It was used as a base for the 96 show car, and also for the Ligiers I've already showed you. The two Ligiers, which are, well, one's down there. That's basically a repainted Benetton B195, as it was in real life. But that's the Benetton there, Johnny Herbert. Like I said, already reviewed it, and a very nice model it is as well. To the left of that, we've got to move the white rat out the way, so I'm getting that out of the way. And there we have, ooh, nearly fell off the bed, the Mercedes W02 from 2011. This is the very high-nosed version of the car, and in that all silver livery with a green splodge on the side. Not a bad model, this one as well. It's like the previous cars I've showed of this era. It is a very big car. You know, it's big in proportion to the way that the rules of the time stand. Much longer wheelbase than most cars, and very wide nose. Can't really tell out the box, well, in the box at the moment, but there's loads of detail, especially on the front wing, the sculpting and all things like that. Same as with the Red Bull I've already showed you, but yeah, very nice model as well. It's a different quality as well. I mean, the people who made this one don't seem to be the same people who made the next year's version, because I've already showed you the 2012 car, and the issues with that, with the sticky tyres and tacky Pirellis on it, which are completely different compared to this one. But anyway, that's the W02 from 2011. That's the Nico Rosberg version as well, by the way, so I just want to get that out of the way. And to the left of that, we've got the Arrows is it the A21 from 2000, or is it the A19? Can't quite remember. Oh, so the A21, sorry, it's the first of the orange Arrows, orange sponsorship cars from 2000. It's the Supertech powered car. Once again, a very nice car as well. A very competitive car. Well, fast car at least. It wasn't very reliable, but yeah, it's a very competitive car compared to the previous years, and well, the last really competitive Arrows of them all, really, because after 2000 the team sort of slid down into oblivion and never really seen again. This is the Jos Verstappen version. I think it's one of two versions that are available. There's this version, which is the basic standard version, and I think there's a wet tired version, unless that was a custom made one, I'm not sure, but there is a one with well, I've seen a few actually, so I think it is an official release with wet tyres on. I haven't seen it for a few years, but there was a couple about at the time, but hey ho, there we go. But yeah, that's a very nice model as well. Quite rare as well at the moment. I don't seem to see many of these pop up very often, so if we can get hold of that one, it'll be pretty good. Anyway, that's that one. We go to the left of that one. It's the Sauber C. It's another C. It's a C23 from 2004. This is basically the 2003 Ferrari, painted in the blue Red Bull or blue Sauber colours of the year. And it's probably the best looking Sauber for, well, apart from the 05 car down there, it's one of the best looking Saubers going. Basically because it is a Ferrari. It's just a shame that the the results didn't capitalise on the car's previous year's performance. I mean, you can clearly see it's a Ferrari with all the aerodynamic bits. I mean, the aerodynamic parts, the vents on the side, the shape of the chassis and the nose. It's definitely F2003 GA shape. The only thing that's different really is the engine cover and the rear wing end plates, as per the rules of that time. But yeah, it's a nice model as well. It's another one I picked up relatively cheaply. I mean, £20 again from the Goodwood Festival of Speed. Got a phone number on there, I didn't realise that. JM Toys, give them a ring, they got some models going. So yep, a bit of advertising there. So yeah, that's another one of those models that you can pick. I picked up relatively cheaply. I think it was, yeah, Goodwood Festival of Speed. I picked that up, and yeah, very nice model it is as well. And to the left of that, we got the Jaguar RB5 from 2000. No, not RB5. It's the Jaguar R5 from 2004. And I just hit my head on the lampshade. So there we go. I just moved around this way. So there we go. There's a Jaguar R5, the Minichamps version. This is. As of there are two. There is the Mattel version, which I haven't had. Well, I've never owned that one, so I don't really know what the quality is like. But I have here is the Minichamps version. It's not a bad model. Quality control is pretty good on it. There's no peeling decals like some other models I've shown. Don't know why I started that. Well, I started talking about that, but never mind. Yeah, this is a very nice model as well. It's not the same as. Well, you know, you can sort of see it's not the same as the previous year's Jaguars. There's no HSBC written on it on the side pods. And the colour scheme, the green, is much darker, and I didn't really go much on this car at the time. The shape-wise, it's beautiful. I mean, it's a very nice-looking car, very big car, but the livery just sort of let it down, and also the results weren't that good either. So, yeah, it sort of justified Jaguars or Ford's reasons to pull out, because the team were just a mess, and when Red Bull took over, it seemed to fix all the problems. It took a couple of years, but they got going. But yeah, that's the last of the Jaguars. And that's the Mark Webber version there from 2004. So to the left of that, we have the Sauber C15 from 1996. This is one of my favourite cars. This is the Sauber from 1996. And also the light's not doing very well, so it's below the other Sauber. So it's the Sauber C15, the last Ford-powered Sauber, and the first in its sort of recognisable colours with the Red Bull, or the yellow sun and Red Bull on the side of the nose, and the Petronas colours and all things like that. It's the sort of the first of the iconic liveries of Sauber. Also, I really like the wheels on this car as well. The silver rims with the star-shaped spokes on them, and really does stand out nicely. And one of my favourites. There's another one that's had a few problems though. I mean, you can see on the base of the underneath the tyres, I put some post-it notes underneath because the tyres were starting to dissolve or stick to the base. So that was one of the issues with that. So hey ho, never mind. But yeah, that's that one, and that's pretty much all the collection. So yeah, that's all of those cars and all of those cars and a few others elsewhere, and that's pretty much it. That's my collection as of to this date. This is August the 23rd, so a couple of months time there'll be a few more probably. So hey ho, if anything there takes your fancy in the collection, let me know and I'll do a review of them. So thanks for watching, and please subscribe and all that other guff, and I shall return with another video. So bye for now.